anything of value. If we're going to build something great, we have to collaborate, because greatness is a team sport. Woo! And it's okay, you don't have to scream amen. I'm so in my own head right now. I'm enjoying myself right now, right? Greatness is a team sport. You can do good all by yourself, but you can't manifest greatness without collaboration, cooperation, and contribution of others. And so civilization went from this journey: communication, collaboration, construction. And what makes the journey possible is great leadership. Woo! Great leadership starts great conversations, generates collaboration, and results in the construction, not just of buildings, but of institutions, of the infrastructure and framework that makes a society a society. It is leadership that takes it from a conversation to construction. And in this particular story, although the leader is not named, you can discover the identity of the leader by reading other passages. The leader of this Babel project was a man called Nimrod. Everybody say Nimrod. Nimrod was the king of the Babel project. And the Bible teaches that the beginning of his kingdom was in Shinar. It was Babel in the land of Shinar. So there is a leader behind it all. That fascinates me all by itself, because when we see great things appearing, it's easy to assume that good people are just doing good things because they're good people and that's what good people do. But as you examine it, there's always a leader. There's leadership is the common denominator behind any construction that is truly great, that has succession and longevity. There's always a leader involved. And the leader here is Nimrod. Now, there is a difference between a leader and a dictator. Dictators demand action. Leaders inspire action. Woo, that's so good. I almost want to say it again. Dictators demand action, but leaders inspire action. And I happen to know that Nimrod was a great leader. How do I know it? Because he was able to cast his vision in such a compelling way that he generated stakeholders and shareholders to where the people took ownership of the vision. Because as you read what we read, it is not Nimrod saying, let's build a city and a tower. It's the people themselves saying to each other, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach to heaven. Now we know that this was one man's idea, but he has sold it to the people in such a way that it's now their idea. And therein is the essence of great leadership. Leaders inspire action, and they share the vision in such a way that you own it. It's yours. It's our city. It's our tower. Let us make a city. Let us build a tower whose top may reach to heaven. And let us make us a name. This is a testament to the leadership style of Nimrod, who got people ready to make sacrifices for a vision that started in his head, and yet it was communicated to their hearts. Leadership inspires action. Dictatorships demand action. So we've got a great leader at the helm of this project. And I want you to notice the elements of the project. Really, there are elements to this. We talk about the Tower of Babel, but the tower was only one element. Number one, they said, let's build a city. Woo. Number two, let's build a tower. Woo. Number three, let's build a name. Woo. Let's think about this. Thank you. You're getting it. You're getting it. Build a city. Why do you build cities? Well, if you look at the history of urbanization and the construction of cities, cities were built fundamentally for prosperity. So here's a leader talking to his constituents about how we can achieve prosperity. Because in a city, what you have is close proximity to market. You don't have to be traveling from out in the wilderness to get your products to market. We're living in close proximity. We will become more productive and therefore more prosperous in a city. So he sells the idea of a city, and the people take it on board. Yes, we're going to live in a city. Woo! The city is for prosperity, but the tower was for security. Because these are the generation who knew that a flood wiped out the entire known world not so long ago. And Nimrod's idea is that if you're going to build prosperity, you have to build security into it. And his idea was that if the flood were to come again, we could get up into the tower, at least those that could afford the ticket. We'd get up into the tower and we could survive the flood. Now, it is short-sighted to think of prosperity without security. In fact, those that are prosperous but don't feel safe, they cannot sleep at night. They have amassed great riches, but they're worried about losing it at any day now. Well, Nimrod said, look, I have factored in your concerns. We're going to build a city and we're going to build a tower so that we will have prosperity and we will have security. Everybody say, woo! Then he said, let's build us a name. Oh my God. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, let's make a name. Now that's the King James Version. I'm going to give you a modern translation. They said, let us build a brand. Woo! Woo! Let us build a brand. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if it is not clear to this generation by now, it should be, so let me make it clear. Personalities do not last forever. Yeah, personalities have inherent weaknesses. Personalities get sick. Are you hearing me now? Personalities get tired. Personalities die. And if we build the city or the tower on the strength of a personality, we are building on a fault line that inevitably is going to fail. Let me tell you something about magnetic personalities. They are necessary for the initiation of great ideas. They are necessary at the foundation, at the starting point, and as the spearhead of a great idea. But personalities do not last forever. What lasts is the strength and the power of your brand. Because the brand now means that the values and the virtues espoused by a leader have been embodied and embedded in a system operated by people who share the values and the virtues. And here's what it looks like. When you've built a brand, the brand outlives and outlasts the individual magnet that brings the brand into being, so that now expansion, multiplication is truly possible. Let me break it down for those of you looking at me in that tone of voice. Building a brand means that Tab London. Everybody say Tab London. It means that as you build the brand, then Tab New York looks like Tab London, feels like Tab London, it sounds like Tab London, it has the DNA of Tab London inside of it. And as you build your brand, eventually the Tab New York plants a Tab Atlanta, the Tab Paris, the Tab Lagos, the Tab Edinburgh. It's the same look and feel. It's an experience. Woo, some of you get this, some of you don't get it, but you're going to get it in a few minutes.
Mic check.
Woo. It's the experience that is referred to as a quality control, which means that wherever you go, whatever says Tab has the DNA of the founder, the founder's ideals, the founder's values, the founder's vision. It's all embedded in the DNA, so that long before I meet Pastor Mike, I met Pastor Mike. I met Pastor Mike when I met the stewards at the front door. I met Pastor Mike when they took my coat and put it in the cloakroom. I met Pastor Mike when I switched on the...
All right, we're going to get started. We're at the top of the hour, 7:08. I was running a little late. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put this in the chat box. I'm going to encourage you guys. If you guys are not listening to Wayne Malcolm, we call him the business bishop. He's from London. But some of the stuff that he shares, the insights that he shares, is just crazy. So I'm gonna put that in the chat for you guys to independently check out when you have some time. So that is in the chat box. So by way of agenda, I heard your mic check. Cornell, sounds good. Peerless. Mic check. Let me see how you sound, brother.
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you. Am I pronouncing your name right?
It's Pericles.
Pericles, like Hercules.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Pericles, let me introduce you to Cornell. Cornell, let me introduce you to Pericles.
Yes, absolutely. How you doing? How you doing?
Awesome. So we got a couple people that are going to be kind of sprinkling in as we go, but we are going to get started with our Airbnb pro tips and superhost call. We do this every week where we share tips and tricks on how to be more bountiful, fruitful, and effective with your semi-passive Airbnb business. And we are going to start the show. So we are streaming live on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. So by way of conversation, our agenda is we are going to speak a little bit about the upcoming podcast that we have this coming Wednesday. This gentleman, he is I want to call this guy, he's like the godfather of home business. This gentleman's grind is just crazy. He's a member of, I met him in 2000. Derek Wilson is, he's a very magnetic type personality. He's almost like, you ever meet somebody, you ever go to, like, let me give this example. Cornell, remember back in the day in college, where you walked into a party and there was the one or two people that everybody was kind of, drawn to?
Yes.
That's this guy right here.
Okay.
That's this guy right here. I mean, he has a magnetic type personality, but he is all about his business. And, I think you guys will get a ton from some of the insights he shares. So that's what's up for this coming Wednesday. And guys, you guys know what we do, man. Level Up is about Black and brown excellence. So if you meet somebody like, for example, me and Yvonne, we were at the beach this weekend and we happened to go into a smoke shop. Now, when I say smoke shop, I don't smoke, guys. But what I was so impressed by, it was a minority owned business. Um, and he was a Latino brother. Me and him got to talking, man. And 28 years old, he had been like in the game for just a short period of time, but his hustle and grind was just second to none. We kicked it for about a half hour. So if you guys know and run into people like that, I want to put them on the podcast. I want to promote their product, their service. I want to hear about their journey, because the thinking is great people have a common thread, and that common thread is the way we think about the world and the obstacles that we allow to sidetrack us. And those themes are universal, but we just love celebrating the Black and brown excellence. So that being said, Mike check, OC, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, Earl. How you doing?
Cool. OC, let me introduce you to Pericles. We got, gentlemen just checking us out, listening in. He was at one of our properties and he said, "Bro, how do you do this Airbnb thing?" I said, "Funny you
Okay.
ask." Pericles, you want to just share a little bit about yourself, man, as a way of introduction?
Yeah. So I'm currently a college student. I actually just finished, and I'm staying in Rochester for a little over a month, and then I'll go to New York City, and then I'll come back. Um, in college, I triple majored, so I studied neuroscience, computer science, and business. Um, yeah, I'll be happy to answer any question that you have.
Sweet. Now, wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? This brother said he
He said
triple.
triple major.
Lord.
Wow.
Let's count it down. He said computer science, neuroscience, and business.
Yeah.
Wow.
Neuroscience.
I love it. I love it, man. So good. So good. All right, man. Well, hey, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
All right, man. So that's gonna happen on Wednesday. All right, guys, this is what we do. Marketplace Monday. This is our opportunity to bring questions, situations, experience to the table, and even just stuff that's funny. So we can talk about it and we can just digest it. So, Cornell, man, anything looming for you, brother? Any questions?
Hmm. No, not any questions specifically I have for the marketplace. Yeah, specifically I have for the marketplace. I think I have any questions right now for the marketplace.
Good stuff. Good stuff. O to the C. Any questions, man?
No, I don't particularly have any questions right now for the marketplace, Earl. I'm good.
All right. Pericles, I know you got a ton of questions. What would be your top 3 questions? We'll play catch up because we got some time and space.
Yeah, I guess what I'm really interested in knowing is one, I want to know how you go about acquiring the properties that you list on Airbnb. Two, I don't know if you'll be able to share what goes on into the negotiation when you're like talking to a landlord.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, and three, I don't know if you also be able to share any kind of information about the returns and commitment that it takes to be profitable if you're doing something like this.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. So we're gonna be a 3-headed dragon. So for the acquisition side of it, I want to assign Cornell to speak on that. For the landlord conversations, I'm gonna ask my brother OC to speak on that. And for the returns, I will share that myself. So we gonna jump on that for you. All right. So we got 3 questions for marketplace. Item 2. Before we get into that, we just like to give praise where praise is due. Let's talk about our wins, y'all. Be it faith, be it family, be it fitness, be it family, be it family. Family is everything. Be it finances. So I'm gonna share out from my standpoint of my win for this week is definitely family. I did a quick short video. My brother on a whim decided to drive up from South Carolina. Reason being, my grandmother, some of you guys may know this, has stopped all of her medication. She's just doing the morphine right now. She's 97, y'all. She's 97. She's fought a good fight. She has the cancer in her pancreas and in her kidney. And you know, my brother, you know, felt like this would be probably the last Mother's Day we had with her. And it's just, you know, it felt good. You know, me and my 3 brothers haven't been in the same room in a while. It felt good for them to be together. The circumstances were kind of crappy. Grandma is now a week ago, you know, she was just lively, and for her change has been pretty dramatic. She's bedridden. She's not verbal. And although this might be like a sad thing, the fact that my brothers and I, you know, are so busy, we don't really spend as much time. It was my win. Because you know, we're very different. You know, my brothers, they're like free. They're like, they don't, like, my brother didn't even tell me. See, this is my brother. He just gets in a car and drives 13 hours one way. He don't let me know he's coming or not. He just know I'm gonna take care of him. Oh, my brother got an Airbnb. He'll put me up. Me, I'm so different. I gotta be planned, methodical, and organized. So being that we're so different, you know, we don't actually have the same circle of friends. So, you know, sometimes I can go weeks, several months without talking to my brothers just because we're living, you know, parallel lives. But it was good to have that experience this weekend. Who would like to go next? Wins for the week.
My wins for the week. Faith, Stu, start my day off of prayer with the Heavenly Father. My family's doing good. They're trying to get together for the 4th of July, so that's always good. Fitness is going good. Stu got my workouts coming throughout the week. Been actually, you know, monitoring my health. Trying to stay healthy, physically and mentally. With that, finances is my week for the win is that actually the new tool that we've been using that I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about earlier, this Price Life, that's been taking effect, and actually made the switch over to changing all of my listeners to Price Labs, and I've been seeing results with that, with the historical data and everything. So that's always good as well. And that's major, especially for this time of the season, to actually get the most out of our places that we have. So that's my weekly wins for the week.
I love it. I love it. At some point, I'm going to give you control of the screen. I'm hoping that you're on your computer and not your cell phone, because I would love for you to share your back office for Price Labs, because I don't believe OC's made the switch yet. Have you made the switch, OC?
No,
have you?
no, Earl, I hadn't. Sorry about that. I'm playing with the mute button.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So ASAP, man, you need to get that for your properties outside of Rochester, that Price Lab. $20 a listing. It controls your Airbnb stuff, you know, autopilot. It's once you start working with it, it's a no-brainer. So good stuff. OC, what about
Okay.
you, brother? What about your
Hey,
your
so
wins?
okay, good. So my week has been kicked off with tragedy. My wife's sister, of course, passed away, Earl, which you know. So we're down here in the Carolinas now, come to help with the arrangements and everything. So, you know, just being with the wife for this season is because we kind of been splitting, is a win for me because we hadn't kind of been together for the last couple of weeks in the same space for a length of time. So, even though the situation that's a win. The other win I'm having down here in Carolina while I'm here is that I put a picture in chat. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it, Earl?
Is in the chat box.
Yeah.
Let me open up my chat. And so it's interesting when you have two screens open, trying to get to the right one.
Right.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see I don't see anything on the screen yet. But anyway, what I sent you was a picture. We've been digging for water on the farm for the last week, trying to find water.
Okay, I think I just uploaded it. Hold on. Let me see if I can share that with everybody. Oh, hold on. I gotta actually share. There it is. Boom, got it. You should be seeing it now.
Okay. Yeah, I see a black screen over top of it. Yeah, there you go. So that's that's me and Robert out on the farm. He's my plumber that's gonna do he's doing the shed, but he's also my mediator for the well guy. So the well guy's been out on the farm looking for water for the last week. He's been tapping, and each time he get about 10 feet down, he hit rock. And he's like, man, and he's hitting rock all over the place. So I talked to Robert, told him, I said, Robert, it's not an option. We have to find water. I need water on the property. And talked to him earlier today, and he was like, oh, see, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something else out, maybe hire some bigger equipment to come in. And between that conversation, I decided, I said, well, I'm just gonna trust the Lord, and I'm going to go out to the property, going to pray over the property, and that's going to be it. I'm putting it in the hands of the Lord. So when I got to the property, I was over Tyrone's. I got to the property. I seen trucks and excavators over there, and Robert was pulling out. And I said, man, what you got, Robert? What's going on? I just talked to you on the phone. I didn't realize you was here. He said, I want to show you something. He said, we dug this hole yesterday, and we hit clay and we hit rock. He said, and I expected to come back here today and see like 2 inches of water. He said, I come back today and it's like 2 feet of water in this hole.
Hallelujah.
He said, I said, is that a good thing, Robert? Robert said, is that a good thing? He said, man, it's great. He said, we got water. He said, all we got to do is trench it out now, like going both left and right, and you have more than enough of water to do what you want to do. So praise God. And I had just prayed and told Tyrone, because Tyrone was listening, and he was like, oh, see, it's just one of them things. I said, well, I'm going to the farm. I'm going to walk around the farm and pray. And God is faithful to
Yes,
hear
he is.
prayer. He's faithful to answer. And I get out there, and the guy's out there with great news. And I'm like, man, God, you answered prayer before I even got to pray it.
Yes.
So that's a great win right there. Another great win is that I completed an application for a grant down here in Carolina for the beginner farmers. So I got that submitted. That's for possibly a $5,000 grant that'll go towards equipment.
All right.
So Tyrone, they kind of coached me along to get that done. And the last thing is we've kind of been working around the ag community to tie more resources into the vision. So it's coming along, brother, coming along.
Is there any of your benefits from being a veteran?
Yes, a lot of
that,
benefits
that
being
you
a
can
vendor.
that will connect with your farm retreat vision?
Yes, yes, I'll be able to use. Oh, I have to. Oh man, I gotta send you. I gotta send you a copy of the grant write-up, Earl, so you can read
Okay.
it
Okay.
because it has like 10 questions of the vision,
Okay.
10 questions of different things, and I'll tell you, you know who's my best friend with that. Who is my best friend,
Your
Earl?
first lady.
No, who is no, 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 no. Something you introduced me to.
Oh,
Writing all
Chat
that stuff.
GPT. Yes, AI is your friend.
Yes, yes, but it's awesome. I'll
That's
send it to
good.
you.
That's lovely, man. That is lovely. All right. All right. Pericles, man, what's your wins for the week, brother?
Um, yeah, I was actually trying to think about it right now. Um, I guess the first thing is it's not 100% a win, but I am trying to set up a company. Uh, I'm gonna put it in the chat, but um, it is basically a mobile AI-driven financial education and financial advising platform. And
Mm,
um,
okay.
we, yeah, I applied for funding and I head back on Friday, and I wasn't really invited for the funding. But the reason why it's a win for me was because my team put the whole thing together in less than a week, which is the fastest I've ever worked on anything in my life. So for me, it was just like really great for me to know that I can build something like this in less than a week, to the point where I become eligible to apply for funding. Um,
So
but
Pericles, is this what we're looking at? Earning it
yeah,
is as simple as learning?
yeah. Um,
Wow,
if you
okay.
if you scroll down, you would see it has a lot more other features.
Hmm.
Um, it allows you to set goals and save towards it. And when you complete your goal, you get some rewards that you can convert back into dollars. Um, it's able to analyze your finances, and tell you how any decision would affect your money or your finances. Like the notification over there. Yeah, pretty much. So that's
I
one of them.
love it.
You created
I
this?
Yeah, yeah.
This is amazing. This is gonna be big.
Um, yeah, I didn't get the funding that I needed to be able to put it on the App Store, but I'm trying to like find a way around it. So
oh, persistence is the key, man. And when you have a big idea, so often that's when that's when the adversary gets busy to try to discourage you, to try to create doubt, to just give you that little, what's the saying, 1% doubt and you're out. You have to be in this entrepreneur journey, you have to be almost fanatical about your dream, about your vision. And
yeah,
and 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 I'm not saying you need to be irrational, but you need to be fanatical in terms of not not impressing your beliefs on anybody else, but impressing your beliefs on that higher self, your inner self. Because if you believe it internally, everything is going to and it's kind of interesting. This is the topic that I am going to be talking a little bit more about today, creating from the quantum field. So this is so dope. um, where did this baby? Where did this? What birthed this idea?
great question. So over the summer, I had an internship, and I made some money from my internship, and I wasn't gonna need the money until like somewhere in late August, where I would use it to pay my tuition. So at that time, I was trying to find different ways to like earn some interest on the money that I had in my bank account instead of just letting it sit there. And then I realized there wasn't really a lot of options for me to be able to save my money over short term and make some substantial interest on it. So I started thinking about different ways that I can make it happen. So
Right.
that's how this whole thing came about. We do a lot of things. So like one of the things that we do is we have software that can track your bank account and let you know when you're getting close to like overdraft or you're getting close to below your minimum balance that you're required to keep in your bank account. We have high yield savings account that can let you earn interest on any money that you want to keep for the short term.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, we have an AI chat face that can tell you that, hey, you're trying to save towards a house. If you go out tonight, you're gonna push your savings goal by a day. You're gonna push it back by a day. So that means you're gonna have to wait a day more before you can reach your goal. So the platform is very interactive. It can interact with all your finances and all your goals and what you're trying to do. The vision is eventually to help people to be able to find ways to make their money work for them instead of just depending on the paycheck that you get from your job.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how it came about, and I did all of this in like a week. So yeah, yeah.
Gentlemen,
Um,
we're looking at the future. This app idea and ideas similar to this is going to be the future of the I call it the knowledge-based capitalist. Knowledge-based capitalism is being able to take an idea, simple idea, leverage technology, and be able to have 1,000% ROI. That's amazing. Because anytime you can we've talked about this, right? OC having digital products. So we grew up in an age where our product or service was something that you had to touch, something that was tangible. But when you have a digital product, that's work that you can do one time and now get paid over and over like royalties.
Over and over and over.
That's so good, brother.
This is a
That's
great
so
idea. This is a great product.
Yes, it is super, super royalties get paid over and over and over. Absolutely.
that is so good. Wow. Okay, man. So that's our first segment. So we're going to take a hard right and we're going to talk about occupancy. And so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just set it up and then I'm going to ask OC now I'm going to ask Cornell to kind of take the wheel and go through price labs. And so here's the gist of it, guys. I just took a screenshot. This gives some historical data of my area in my city and what the demand is like. I see my demand is lowest in February. I see my demand is highest in July and August. So Price Lab is going to calibrate for me automatically, real time, what my prices should be based on the demand. So where my demand is the lowest, my occupancy is I'm going to be under $30. On the month where my demand is the highest, I'm going to be as high as 45, maybe $50. So if that makes sense, Cornell, I'm going to ask you to drive this a little bit because I think what's relevant is this. Based on your occupancy, how full your places are, you are going to either take the data from Price Labs and ignore it, or take the data from Price Labs and run with it.
Nope. So, what you want me? You want me to share my screen and go over my dashboard? with
Yeah,
Price
go
Labs?
over
Let
your
me share my
dashboard. Yep. I want to know what the demand looks like in your area.
area. Okay. See. Okay, you guys can see my screen, correct?
You sure can.
Yep. Okay. So here's the dashboard right here. Let's see how the demand looks in the area.
Scroll down to a listing where you have the
Let's scroll
green.
down to a listing that's on, right?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. So we can click on one of these listings in the area where I'm in, over here in Maryland, Frederick, Maryland. The demand, let's see, the demand, let's go to help me choose a base price.
Sweet, sweet.
And we got, see down here, we got recommended 48. Let's go scroll down. So the demand, here's the bars that you were going over as well. So demand looked like it's really the highest in June. Then we
Okay,
got
interesting.
we got pretty high demand in July, August, and it seemed like it gets even higher in September, October, November.
So scroll back to June. Scroll back to June. Okay.
Yep.
So based on June, if you had if you were over 50%, or excuse me, 75% occupancy,
Mm-hmm.
my recommendation is you do exactly what the software is saying, $54.
Yep.
But if all of a sudden your occupancy, excuse me, fell below 50%, I would bump that down. I may not do $40, but maybe I would do $45. And whatever's necessary, because again, we want that fine line between occupancy and
Yep.
profitability.
Mm-hmm.
So good,
Yep.
good.
That made perfect sense. Yep.
All right.
So we see the recommended price for one of the listings. So what else do we have here? We also got neighborhood data as well, where they can go over the neighborhood data and show you how you are on the market
Mhm.
compared to other listings.
So this is dope. This is dope because it compares you against your competition.
Yep, it definitely does on this chart right here. And it even gives you the dates as well down in this area. And also another thing Price Labs does automatically by default is that the closer the closer that your days come in. So like if somebody wants to book tomorrow on the 14th or the 15th or the 16th,
Yeah.
they actually drop your rates down for you automatically, I believe by 30%. I was on an onboarding call and they told me that. So that's by default. So
Oh,
that's
really?
pretty good.
So I'm not even aware of that. So that's not something that you have to set up internally.
No, you don't have to set up.
The AI is doing it for you automatically.
Yep, that's doing it for you automatically. So I know if you hover over a date like the 15th is in 2 days, like it drops it down by, let's see, last minute pricing, it looks like it drops it down by 25%. So instead of it being 46, it'll be 37. So where it says last minute price factor, it says 25%, it'll be $37. Then you go over on the 16th, drops it down by 21%, $38. And like of course, when it comes to price tag, the further the dates are out, the higher the prices are. But the closer it gets closer, it drops it down for you bit by bit. So you can have your calendar still booked out, but still have that fine line between having your calendar full and having that profitability. So that's great. That's great. And but we also found out about Price Labs too, is that how we usually keep our calendars open for 3 months or so. You can have your calendar open for the next 9 months, and it'll be already priced off the historical data for you to not leave anything on the table. So if you but if you click all the way over, and by the way, all these grayed out places are booking, so like long-term bookings. So
Beautiful.
we go to like the end of August, we see, they see the prices are still very high because it's a far out date. And with Price Labs, we see like some days are 53, 50, some days are 57. The weekends are always higher due to the historical data that the AI technology is doing itself. So it's doing it itself, which is great. So somebody books out further out, your prices are already prepared and ready for you to have the highest prices possible, according to your specific area, specific property, your listing, your Pacific area. So, even in September is all the way high. So if somebody was to book in September or October, or further out, it's already booked for you. See, like these days are great out because we have a booking way in November, in October and November, but the prices are high and already set up versus us just manually doing it ourselves. So it's a good tool to use. It's a good tool to use. Great tool. I have they have you help choose your own base price. I have all, and I just recently switched to all of my all of the listings just been on. So what I did was I made sure the listings that have the most reviews, I had turned those on, and I had just unlisted and snoozed the other B and C listings. So, or the other two listings. So you can have the one that have the most reviews on the forefront. So yeah, definitely. I have about, I believe, like about 11 on here that's turned on.
And so Cornell, the truth of the matter, all of the duplicate listings that we were using 6 months ago, your boy, man, I've deleted all of the duplicate listings.
Wow. Okay.
No need. Price Lab is so powerful. The AI technology is so powerful. I don't need those. It's actually dead weight.
Okay.
All of those extra listings.
Okay. So that's what strategy are you having for the slow season? You're just going to keep it rolling with Price Labs, or?
Price Lab is my strategy.
Great. AI, so it's fine.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
Yep.
I would have doubled my income a year ago.
Yeah.
Had I known about this then.
Yeah, definitely. Because that whole switching back and forth, manually changing it, having one flat. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Bro, I appreciate you driving. Pericles, OC.
Yep.
Any questions, comments, connections that you guys have before we go to the next segment?
Is that an app? Is Price Lab an app, or do I gotta actually go online and get it? Is it in Play Store?
You know what? I think it is an app for Price Labs on the phone, but it's actually just like a software. So it's actually just like a software that you just go to Price Labs, right in Google search, and you sign up for it, and you actually connect Price Labs to the existing Airbnb listings. And once you do that, it integrates all your listings, and then from there you have these toggle buttons right here, with which green is on and gray is off. And you just toggle the ones that you want on, that you want Price Labs to do dynamic pricing for you, which is they'll price your specific listings to using historical data and analysis to make sure that your price the highest possible, or really accordingly as possible, due to like the historical data, holidays, and different things like that. Even if you like, and that's the great thing about it, right? Because some holidays you might forget to up your price on 4th of July. You might forget to up it on holidays, and they do it automatically for you. Even
Now, how
right
much
here,
do they charge for this software?
I
And how many
believe it's
listings do it cover?
I believe it's $20, or I think they have some type of deal too. Maybe it's $20 per listing. I believe they have some type of deal. I have to check back with that on if you get a certain amount of listings, I think you get like a discount. I have to check back on that.
Each one of my rooms would be $20.
Yeah, pretty much each listing, each room that you want to have.
So really, you could do your analysis on one room and then just spread that out across the platform.
Yeah, yeah,
So
you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm.
yeah, you can.
Yep,
You can. It's more time intensive.
yep.
And I said it only because, as you can see, the prices are changing, sometimes daily, but definitely seasonally.
Hmm.
Um, whereas, and we'll maybe talk about it next week. There's another feature called parent and child settings, where you basically set one listing, and then the as long as it has the same address, this will work, and it will mirror the settings from that parent listing. So um, it absolutely is a time savings that I want to emphasize, as opposed to, using it for one listing and then recalibrating the other listings, the other rooms.
Yeah,
You can do that. I'm not doing that.
definitely, definitely,
So
definitely.
yeah. But that's good. That's good. Which, you have another question, OC? Okay. Pericles, before we move, you have any questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay, good stuff.
Okay, good
All
stuff.
right.
So, yep, yep, definitely, definitely, good tool. So
All
let me
right.
see. Stop sharing my screen now.
And my people out in social media, uh, Cornell just showed you a huge leverage tool. If you already have your short-term rentals up and running, we don't get endorsed. We're not getting a kickback for promoting this, but we're benefit from it. And if you're already in the space, I would recommend you save some time. Say, you're losing money by not using the software. Straight up, you are losing money. So that being said, thank you, Cornell. All right, let's get to our next segment. And in our next segment, what it is that we want to do is we want to do our Q&A. We want to do our Q&A. We want to talk about these really great questions. So, acquisition, that landlord conversation, um, and the potential returns. So, I'm actually going to go out of order. That landlord conversation. OC, what does that sound like? Because you have a couple places, man. You got a place in the Hamptons, you got a place in New York, a place in
yeah, yeah,
Carolina. So
right. Yeah,
what is give
that
our
sounds
folks
like
out?
our rental arbitrage model
Mhm.
that you know, it's based on a business relationship with the landowners. Basically, what we do in that conversation is we explain to them what our use of the property is going to be. So when we go out to initiate the conversation with these landlords or owners, homeowners, we introduce ourselves and make sure they understand what our business model is and that we will be hosting our business clients as they come in from out of town and based on that, you know, some of them go for it, some of them don't like it because they have a misunderstanding. Some of them have been corrupted by conversations out in the social media world about Airbnb, so they initially throw up guards. But once you have an honest conversation with them and they get to meet you and understand that you are running a legitimate business here and that you're taking all the risk, basically, then they are more apt because they like you to accept your model because they understand that the property is going to be better taken care of. You're never going to be late on rent. They don't have to be fighting typical landlord battles with tenants. And we're going to get a better care of the property than a regular tenant would, and the property is not only better taken care of, but is well insured as well by the Airbnb platform. So, you know, we're open and up and very honest about what we're going to do, and we form that business relationship, and we have documentation that states the same that they sign off on and we sign off on. So once that handshake is done, we're operating, we're in business.
So OC, so if I was a newbie looking in, I think I would probably be thinking this question here. You know, what are the top reasons that a landlord wouldn't do business with you? And maybe what are the top reasons that we could share for them to do business with us?
Okay, good questions. Yeah, I would say one of the top reasons why landlord wouldn't do business with us is, like I said, which is the noise in the streets, basically, because they've heard bad things in Airbnb of the Airbnb environment, society, and without knowing us and our business model, they're only going for historical data that they have. So lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. And I can also say it may be maybe it's just they don't want that level of traffic coming through their properties. You know, they have when they think Airbnb or that
Wear and
type of,
tear, right? They're thinking of heavy wear and tear.
they're thinking heavy wear and tear. Heavy
Now-
wear and tear.
Now, the truth of the matter is it?
It's less wear and tear.
How?
Well, it's less wear and tear because our business professionals that come in typically come in to lay their head. They're not utilizing all of the amenities that we offer, like like using the stove, the refrigerator. You know, most of them use the refrigerator, but the stove, they don't cook. You know, most of them go out and eat when they're in town. You know, they're not doing utilizing the washer and dryer as much as regular tenants would be using it. You know, they're not turning the heat up and down because we've regulated those, you know, within the property. So there's not wear and tear on the HVAC system as much. So there's benefits to our model versus regular tenants.
So the takeaway is the thinking would be that the increased traffic would be more wear and tear. But the truth of the matter is there's less wear and tear because people aren't actually living in the place. They're just recovering.
Right. Go to a job site, come lay their head, maybe eat a little something, get up and do it all over again. Or come in town, experience what the event is, go out, eat, enjoy, come lay their head, and the next day they're out again. So they're not living there. That's a good word you use. Living, that's the difference.
So good. So good. Bro, thank you, man. Thank you. So before we can have this landlord conversation, we actually have to find a property. All right, so Cornell, take us through that journey. How do we find the property?
How do we actually find a property, correct?
Yep.
We actually find a property through we actually use like Zillow is one of the places we use. Other places you also can use is like you can also use like rent.com. You can use houses.com. You can use another thing I like to use is realtor.com. And I, you know, just different websites like that to actually find a place. So we actually go in those places, like for example, Zillow. So we go in those places, and depending on the area you're looking at, the city or town that you're looking at, you can type that.
No, go ahead and screen share for us and take us through a test run, so we know what you're looking at when you're on this Zillow.
Okay, I think you have to stop screen sharing your screen.
Yep. You're reading my thoughts. Go right ahead.
All right, so I'll open another page open. I'll just type in Zillow, it should pop up. So Zillow.com. And let's just type in the city. Let's just type in, let's just think of like Florida, right? Or just something like that. Orlando.
Yep.
Let's do Orlando, Florida. And we got a bunch of places right here on the right side. Mine is already automatically put on here as a 4-bedroom. But we like to look at the more bedrooms the better. So we usually like doing like 3 bedrooms up, mostly like 4 or 5 bedrooms. So in this case, I already got 4 bedrooms right here. And then under the home type, I have houses and townhouses. And I got the entire place and I got applied to it. And we usually have a bunch of properties over here on the right side, and we usually filter it out through low to high. So the lowest are first, and then the highest is all the way down the bottom. And you can even around here, they have a certain amount of properties around here have a bunch in Orlando, and then we have this remove boundary area to open up an even wider search outside of that Orlando, Florida area. So out on all the outskirt areas, those will pop up. Like you got Kissimmee, you got
Listen.
Florida.
I'm loving this. 5 bedrooms for $1,200 a month.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
That's the first one. That is just
What?
amazing. I mean, like it really like that's amazing because we actually use our formula. So we actually use a certain amount of formula that we use to actually look for while we're researching a property. And right off the jump, we know that for a 5-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, they got 2 bathrooms. One of them probably a suite. We know off the top that this is already in formula for $1,200. This is, I mean, amazing. I mean, we look at this. We got 5-bedroom, 2 baths, right in Kissimmee. I mean, this property, we got the pictures right here showing things. And I'm pretty sure if it has 2 full bathrooms, it has a suite. So one of the bedrooms have a bathroom inside of the bedroom. That makes it even more better. So yeah, we just basically look at properties on Zillow. We find it after we do our formula. We look for our formula that we make sure that is in formula so we can actually be profitable while we list it on Airbnb. So this is definitely a formula off the back. We have another property over here, 4 bed, 1.5 bathrooms. We got another one over here, 4 beds, 2 bathrooms for $1,700. A lot of these are good.
Is that in Orlando or Kissimmee?
The first one is in Kissimmee. The other ones are in Florida, but Tituville, Florida.
But that's all Disneyland down there. That's Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah, close by.
See, to your point, right? To your point, so 2 years ago, I took my family to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
We have a cousin in Kissimmee. So that's no more than a 30-minute. So the truth is, I don't actually want my property in Orlando because I can get it for a better rate outside of the Orlando boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I could be more profitable by just having my people who are coming to the area, spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Or we spent 13, 14 hours behind the wheel to get there. Was 30 minutes.
Yep. That's 30 minutes away from the attractions like Disney World, Disneyland, and stuff like that. So, because usually properties on the outskirts of Orlando is going to be more cheaper, because it's a little bit, maybe like a 25-minute, 30-minute drive. But, a lot of people don't mind traveling that far just to go to the event and then they come back to where they rest their head at and acquire a simple, peaceful area, which will be.
And they're saving money.
Yep.
And they're saving money.
Yep, and they're saving money. So they got a whole bunch of properties. And what we like to do when we look on Zillow, right here on the right side, they have, the information that they have heating and cooling, laundry and unit, pets.
Cornell, how do we know when we overspend?
Oh, we know when we overspend through our formula. So if it's actually over, if we can't be in formula by 40%, that we know that we overspent. So 40% is our like guideline number that we don't want to go over when we do our formula. So now if it's only like, let's say like a few dollars, 20, 30, $40 over formula, that's not bad. But if it's hundreds of dollars out of formula, we know that we can keep looking and keep scrolling, going back on Zillow or other websites to look for more places. And when we look for more places, if we actually, a lot of these, some of these places are by like property management groups like this one is, but we actually want to look a lot of times for property owners. So I would actually go through here and search after I do my formula to see how much you can pay for a 4-bedroom in Florida, how much you can pay for a 5-bedroom. And I would just scroll down and look right here and see if I can find property owners first before property management companies to actually contact to see if they're interested in our business model. You know, because some of these are property owners, a lot of them are property management groups. But as we see in property management groups, but we still can contact them, but we actually want to get straight to the source and go straight to the owner. So we could talk directly to the source and show them that, hey, look, we're going to be your best tenant with our business model, you know, and see if they want to actually, you know, work with us. So that's what we do. Like right here, we see a property owner named Gary. We actually contact him, and sometimes they have numbers, but a lot of times we will contact them strictly through requesting a tour.
Yeah.
So once you request a tour, we have like a certain template that we use to actually reach out to these property owners. We, you know, you will pick a day on the calendar, reach out to them with our specific script that we use, and then actually send. And you know, literally, like in a few hours or a day or so, you'll have landlords reaching back out to you, wanting you to come out and visit and see their places in person. So that's really in a nutshell how we
That's
actually.
so good. That's so good. So Cornell, this is the perfect segue. OC, share with Pericles how you landed a fully furnished property in Rochester and how we were able to get it almost fully booked before we took possession of it.
Wow.
Okay, sorry about that. I was on in a sidebar. Yeah, so as Cornell just mentioned, you know, one of the things we did was you know, I was trying to find property in the DC area. That didn't work out because they changed regulations. So Earl and I kind of linked up, and I started looking in the Rochester area and basically doing what we call 10 a days, reaching out to landlords, sending them my what we call a landlord template. We were able to identify a property that fit our model. I kind of took the Cornell stab at looking for properties by setting my filters on the highest bedroom count, which is 5+ on Zillow. I was able to find one particular property that I sent out my landlord template to the owner, and he had been working with, I guess, other students and trying to rent the place out to college students. So he had the place fully furnished. And anyway, I think he had it probably about 90% furnished, right, Earl? Probably had it about 90% furnished. We were able to take to build a business relationship. Once he liked our model, we signed the contract, he signed our addendum. And we prior to doing all that, you know, once we got the contract in hand, before even getting into the property, we started listing the property on Airbnb because it was already furnished and already ready to go. It was going to be turnkey the day we opened the door. I mean, the day we opened the doors or got the keys, it was going to be ready to go. So before we even finished with it all, we got it listed up on Airbnb. And we started taking bookings. So the place, by the time we got the key, we had a full house. And I think that was the August time frame. And, you know, so prior to walking into property to do anything, we already have bookings on the book. And that's because we strategically started reaching out, listing out places, listing out place prior to getting full access to the property. And that gave us a up in the game where we was we had clients the day we opened the doors.
Blessing from God.
Yeah, yeah, it was a blessing.
But I mean, having said that, it's also it's a function of, you know, trusting the process. And that's the blessing for us is, you know, we believed we believed that we could be successful if we had the right knowledge, and we were willing to invest in ourselves to get the knowledge, and then we were willing to trust the process. And so, you know, there it is. You know, this is not, you know, beyond anybody. And this is the whole point of us streaming this live on social media. If someone has an interest, a desire, a belief that that doing business isn't just reserved to you know, folks that, you know, have a particular you know, you don't have to have a degree in order to be successful in business, but you do have to have some intangibles. And one of the intangibles is that you got to be smart enough to find a mentor, and you have to be disciplined enough to, you know, don't get shiny syndrome. I call it shiny object syndrome, where you see something here, and then you see something there, and then you see something over here, but then you're all over the place because you're not tilling your soil. You're not working your soil. And that is a very challenging thing, especially when you are for the lack of the better the word is when you know, don't have the right mindset. It's all about mindset. You can have the right tools, you can have everything is going right, but if your wrong mindset is going wrong, not going to be successful. Would you add anything to that, Cornell or OC?
I would say that, yeah, that's absolutely right. And like Earl said, you know, the shiny object syndrome is big upon entrepreneurs because you're always kind of looking out on the market to see what's out there. And before you are able to put your feet in the sand and plant yourself and learn what you need to learn by getting a good mentor and getting with the people that are successful in that community, you know, and just learning and building and learning and building and believing. It's all about mindset in this. If you believe you can achieve it, you can achieve it. Of course you can. But you got to have the right mindset to believe it. But so Earl, you definitely hit the nuggets. I would say that is a big red flag, that shiny object syndrome, because, you know, it's the flashy lights, the quick money, you know, how do you know, get there as fast as I can. It's not about that. It's about understanding what you're doing, allowing your passions to be mixed in that process and trusting God, getting the right mindset and moving out on it. You know, so you know, and we all went through that. We all went through, the biggest thing is once you believe in yourself, you invest in yourself. You know, all of us had to invest in our understanding, you know, in our education in order to get into the space we're in. So, you know, that was a big leap for me, myself personally, because I had never done that. And then there's so many things going on out there. You like, I don't know what to jump in. But, you know, spend some time thinking about that, thinking about what you actually want to achieve. And then once you put your mind to it, then you're going to have to take the risk, jump out there and believe in yourself and do it.
Yep.
All right. You got the last word, Cordell?
Yep. I agree with everything he said. Not too much words to say after that. But this is exactly how we start. One of the ways we look for you know, properties on Zillow. So hopefully that answers some questions as well. Any more questions about Zillow?
Bro.
Anybody?
Yeah, I do have
Pericles.
Yeah.
Pericles, anything? Anything
Yeah.
connect for you?
Yeah. Those are some really powerful insights you just shared.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I feel super lucky to be on this call right now. Um, Anyways, I was just wondering, so under normal circumstances, you would have to find a place that is unfurnished, and then you have to furnish it yourself.
A lot of times, a lot of these places come unfurnished, but sometimes if you can get lucky with a landlord, sometimes they have the place furnished, where they have furniture in the place for you, and that's a better deal because then you have furniture to work with. You don't have to move anything in to furnish it yourself. So that'd be great. But I know a lot of the times, a lot of these places are unfurnished where you have to actually um put furniture inside of the places. But with actually getting stuff on a sale, you can get stuff from like Walmart to Goodwill, Savers, stuff like that to actually furnish it for affordable. Each room, and have it still look pretty nice and presentable. So yeah, definitely. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. You did mention that when you're dealing with a property, you usually look for a 40% margin or return on your investment. Um, is that the same case when you have to furnish the property yourself?
Yeah, so when you furnish it yourself, we're actually when we're doing formula, we're looking for stuff that's actually that 40% occupancy number is definitely a good number to go off of to let you know that if anything happens like during low season, the minimum you will be able to do is to cover your expenses like your rent every month at 40% occupancy. So if the numbers work at 40% occupancy, you're good. If the numbers are over 40% occupancy, you have wiggle room to actually make even more profit. So when it comes to like the furniture and stuff like that, you're really spending a couple $100 each room. So it's not like you're spending, close to $1,000 per room. So you're actually furnishing it for at a pretty affordable price. So you won't end up going overboard and just on furnishing the price because when you actually have to start a place, move into a place, they're typically going to ask you for the first month's rent and security deposit. And then after that, you want to furnish it right away for an affordable price. And after that, get your pictures taken. But even before then, what we like to do, we like to keep this plane moving while we're building it. So, a lot of these properties, if you click on, they have pictures already on them. So we can actually use these photos from here to actually put these on our listings Airbnb, and actually until we get professional photos are taken, we can use these and leverage these to get the algorithm going. And then once we have pictures from our professional photographer, then we can upload those in replacement of these. So that's the good thing about it, you know. But I know one thing when it comes to pictures, professional pictures are definitely worth the price because it looks so much professional than taking it on your iPhone. Personally, just getting a professional picture, it definitely will definitely make a difference in your revenue that you'll get and your increase. So yeah, definitely. But a lot of these, as you can see, a lot of these places come unfurnished. They don't have anything in them. But you still can use these, or you could use other photos as well, because some of them do have them furnished. But you can either use these and put it right in your captions, letting your future potential guests let them know that it will be a bed in the place. It will be a sofa in the living room when you get there, and as you get your pictures taken, you can just come on Airbnb and switch it out with your pictures of your place after you furnish it and keep the ball rolling. So yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Love it,
So
man. I love it. So, we have really allowed social media to a sneak peek. Like I'm sure like OC, you're probably thinking, man, bro, did we have this much game before we actually invested in ourselves?
No, we didn't.
We didn't. I wish we had, but the bottom line is this. It's really just it's not even about knowing the path. It's
Mhm.
about getting yourself to follow the path. And that's the blessing of the community. So for anybody who's out there in social media and you're thinking about doing this thing, yeah, you can go alone. All right. Going alone, you can get there fast. But going with a group, you can go far. And folks, this is not about getting anywhere fast. This is about the longevity of the thing. So, I would encourage everybody, anybody, if you're interested in, what it is you're hearing, check, any one of us out, and think about becoming a part of the community. So
Yeah.
on that note, what I would love to do, Cornell, if you could stop screen sharing, if OC, if you could just take a minute and just share maybe one takeaway you got from today.
Man, I keep fighting with the mute button there. The one takeaway I got was the powerful use
You're
of
on mute,
price
OC.
lab.
One takeaway, brother.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Wow.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I
Can you
hear
hear me,
Mike.
Earl?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the mic, but one powerful takeaway I got was Price Labs, how powerful their use of that tool is. And, just watching the presentation put on by Cornel and you talking about it, it makes me definitely want to go out there and investigate it more and incorporate it into my listings. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. Pericles, one takeaway for you, buddy.
Um, I think my biggest takeaway is what you mentioned, mentorship. Um, yeah, I feel like you guys shared very powerful information that you wouldn't really know unless you have somebody that's mentoring you in the process. And I think I see how important that would be, especially if you're trying to be successful in a business like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And Cornell, man, if you
Oh,
could just share one takeaway and pray us out. Was somebody trying to speak just a minute ago? Okay. All right. Cornell, you got it, buddy.
Yeah, one takeaway was mentorship for me too, how important that is to actually about just like you were saying, you can go quick when you're alone, but you can go further with a team, especially somebody that's been doing it before you. So mentorship was definitely one of my biggest takeaways from that, to actually have you like skip the line and just so you won't make the same mistakes and pitfalls as somebody else that's been through things that you're trying to accomplish.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Hey, so Pericles, I saw your question in the chat. I'm gonna actually answer you offline because I gotta run to another meeting. But
okay.
for now, if you could just share us out with a brief word of prayer.
Yep. Mother bows head. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening to thank you for everything that you've done for us to collectively get on a call and be able to get together and speak about knowledge, wisdom and truths, and just still sharpen steel, and just share information amongst each other to get better and better, Lord. I know we're here because of you. And everything is possible with you. Nothing is possible without you, Lord. And I just pray that we all could take the information from this that we shared amongst each other as a group and be able to implement it and be able to implement it in our lives, share with other people, to be a blessing to our loved ones and friends and family. And Lord Jesus, we're just so thankful. We pray for everybody in our families that's going through situations, that you can sort it out the best way you can and be with us every step of the way, Lord, so we can reach our peak potential and continue to grow and reach that financial independence, financial freedom goal, or whatever goal that we have, Lord, to be able to just get to the top and be able to be the best we can be while we're here, because we all have a purpose. And I pray that we all can find that purpose and live out that purpose and share it, so we all can just get ahead in life, Lord. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and nobody wants to struggle for all that life and just rub their knuckles together and financially or spiritually and physically. We just want to be able to enjoy the life down here that you created, so we can get further and further and be the best we can be, Lord. So I'm so thankful, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is thankful on this call that we got together and was able to share ideas and advice and pro tips on our business entrepreneurship to just to be the best version of ourselves and do our best while we're here on this earth that you created, Lord. And I just pray for this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So good.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Amen.
God bless everybody.
God bless everybody.
God bless. God bless.
Thank you.